Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and today we're looking at the Star Wars Armada Interdictor expansion pack. Now, out of all the ships in Armada, this is the one I was really looking forward to. It took me a while to get it, but luckily I found one a little cheaper than retail on Amazon, so I'm happy. So for the size of this ship, it's almost 6.5 inches long. It's a nice size ship, and it goes well with the rest of the ships as we'll be looking at later. So what do you get with this? Besides a beautiful model, which we are going to look at in depth very soon, you get some ship cards, you get some upgrade cards, a lot of different tokens and dials, and this ship also features the gravity well generator. So it has its special ability with some special tokens right there. Now, the Interdictor was always a legend ship, or I should say expanded universe, either or. And then in Rebels, they made it canon. And I was really excited because it's such a great ship. What this ship does is it goes with a fleet and it activates its gravity well generator. And what it does is either rips ships out of hyperspace and stops them, or keeps them from going into hyperspace and running. So it's a really cool idea, and I'm so glad it's canon. So we do have a lot to cover. We have to look at the cards, the tokens, the dials, and then we will finally look at this beautiful ship, put it on its great stand, compare it, and then we'll be done for today. So let's get moving. To start off with tokens, we have our ship token, ship ID tokens, 1 Gravwell token, 1 Grav Shift token, 4 command tokens, 4 defense tokens, 2 contains, 1 brace, and 1 redirect, 1 speed dial, and finally 2 command dials. Now for the upgrade cards, like always, you can pause the video to read them, but we have Flight Commander, Fighter Coordination Team, Engineering Team, Quad Laser Turrets, Lead-In Shots, MS-1 Ion Cannons, G8 Experimental Projector, Grav Shift Reroute, G7X Gravwell Projector, Targeting Scrambler, Admiral Constantine, Commandant Aresco, sorry if I mispronounced that, Admiral Titus, and ship title Interdictor. So cool cards. Some can only be used for the Interdictor itself, like the Experimental Projector, stuff like that, but nice upgrades. For the ship cards, the first one up is the Interdictor Combat Refit. So that's 2 command, 2 squadron, 5 engineering. Anti-squadron is 1 black die and 1 blue dice, 9 hull. Shields going around is 3, 2, 2, and 2. Weapons are 2 red and 2 blue for the 2 sides and the front. And in the aft section, it's 2 blue and 1 red. Not really a fast ship. Nice upgrades down here. Now the next ship card is the Interdictor Suppression Refit. Now it's very similar to the other one, except it has a little more upgrades down here. Same speed, same hull. Anti-squadron is 1 blue die instead of blue and black for the combat refit. Then we have 225, just like the other ship. And this is where it has a major difference. Instead of having 2 red die and 2 blue for these sections, for the arcs, now we have 3 blue and 1 red. And the choice is yours which one you want to pick. Each is good in its own way depending on how you want to play. So that does it for the cards. So let's take a look at the stand. Okay, when you get the stand, it's in separate pieces. So right here, I already assembled the shields, just a piece of cardboard with some pegs. And you can spin them, which is pretty nice. Then you get this section. And if you look on the bottom, there is an opening here. So all you do is you put it in like so, and then move it in, and that locks it. You also get a piece of cardboard, and this one is the Suppression Refit. And on the back is the Combat Refit for the Interdictor. So say we wanted to use Combat, we slide it in like that. Take our stand right there, slide it up so it's locked in. And now you're ready to play. So that does it for the stand, so let's take a look at this beautiful ship. And here we have the mold of the interdictor, and just look at all those panels and modules sticking out of there. Fantastic. I love this section here, which is basically a trench. Beautiful. Can't believe all the detail they put into this. Fantastic. Here we have the engines. And now for the bottom, just continuing looking at this beautiful job. And I'll go over the sections of this in a minute. I just want to get everybody to look at it. Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, so I tried to get a nice wraparound of this ship up close and personal. And you could just see the detail. Very detailed, and the paint just makes everything pop. So for the sections, we have, of course, our bridge. These two pieces here, some people say they're shield generators. Diagrams on the internet and other things say it's comms towers. So, I don't know. To me, there is no antenna coming out. They look like shield generators. If anybody has any information where the shield generators are actually located, let me know in the comments below. As you know, I like to hear from you guys. Now, of course, we have our gravity well projectors, 4 of them. So that's always nice. On the back, like I mentioned before, we have our drive engines. Came out pretty damn good, a lot of detail in there. For the bottom of the ship, we have the bottoms of our gravity well generators there. We have our launch bay. And, riddled throughout this whole thing, we have quad laser cannons and this and that. But the ship is too big for us to see something so small like that. And one other thing of detail is this nice trench going down. Just like a normal Star Destroyer. Just great detail. Amazing piece. And on the bottom also we have our port for our stand. And that pretty much does it for the detail. So looking at the paint now, we have blue for the engines, which is a given. And then the rest of the ship is mostly light and dark grays. And you could see that right here. We have our light gray and then dark gray patches. Nice paneling or Aztecing, if you will. And they did a great job with that. But where this shines is the black wash, which is all over this. You could see it in every line, every panel, every trench. It is fantastic. It makes everything pop, and it brings it to life. Now also we do have some smudges here and there of the black paint, and that just adds to the detail, especially here. Great job. I'm in love with this ship. I think it is one of the best in the collection. And one cool thing is, this piece here, if you look at it like so, underneath here, it's hard to see. Like right here, it curves inward instead of outward, like a regular Star Destroyer. And it appears to be flat on the bottom, even though it is curved in slightly. And I like that. That's a nice touch. So that does it for the mold and the paint. So let's put this bad boy on a stand, compare it, and we'll be done. And just like other Armada ships that are big like this, we have a stand and we have our port. Just plug it in like so. And you're good to go. For comparison with the Star Wars Armada Interdictor, I have it next to the Imperial Star Destroyer, which is a perfect ship from the same line. A Nebulon B frigate, which you can see the size difference there. Also, I chose a Hasbro Micro Machines Interdictor, which you can see the size, it's way smaller than the Nebulon right there. And then finally, just to show height, I have it next to a Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Darth Revan, which is a great figure. Not the best in articulation, but looks-wise, it's fantastic. So in all, we have some great ships here. They all look fine, and a cool-looking figure. Now, a couple weeks ago, one of my viewers asked, what does the Nebulon B frigate look like next to some Micro Machines? And I did a comparison in my other review, but just in case I didn't see that, here I have one of the original Glue Micro Machines X-Wings next to a Nebulon B frigate from Star Wars Armada. And like I said in my other review, They don't really go together, but if you have some of these bigger ships with a bunch of these micro machines, it won't look bad. Not at all. I think looks pretty interesting, I will say that, but the stands don't really match. Size-wise, a micro machine is about half the length of a Nebulon B frigate. So I hope this helps you out, and let's end this review. And that does it for my review today of the Star Wars Armada Interdictor expansion pack. Very cool. I really like this a lot. What are the pros of this ship? The mold is magnificent. The paint is spot on. And you know, when you combine those two, the paint helps that mold and you have something magnificent. Also, you have a nice stand, and it comes with a lot of great accessories to help in the Armada game. You got some cool upgrade cards and 2 ship cards to go with this. And it's a game about strategy, so you have to go through those cards yourself and pick what works best for you. So what are the cons to this ship? I would say just the price. I know in today's world you pay for what you get for, and this ship is usually $30-something. I got it off Amazon, I think for $26 or something like that. Usually I get them from Barnes & Noble, but once I figured out that Amazon and the internet is sometimes a little cheaper, I tend to get them online, but sometimes I just go to Barnes & Noble and pick them up. And you know what, the price really doesn't matter. When you get these guys home, especially with the Imperial Star Destroyer, they look fantastic, and that goes for this one as well. It is a work of art. You know, if you're a Star Wars fan, if you love Imperial and Rebel ships, I would seriously look into getting some Armada vessels for yourself. You know, if you're good at, say, woodwork and metalwork, I am certain you could make some custom stands to fit in there, and they would look great. So I would recommend this vessel for any person who's a fan of the Imperial Navy, Star Wars ships in general, or fans of miniatures. Now, just to finish this review, remember it's almost 6.5 inches, so this is a nice big ship. And if you think about that, go back into the comparison and look at the Imperial Star Destroyer, and you could get an idea of how big that vessel is. So that's about everything I have to say about this ship. I'm so glad it's canon, and I'm so glad they made it. It is beautiful. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you want to see new reviews every Thursday, click subscribe. So thank you very much for watching yet again, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.